Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Canadian Football Central, CFL content for the fans, by the fans, and we have our Week 8 review coming right up. And, happy week for Rick. A not-so-great week for me. My pick'ems, I went 2-2, which is not even that terrible. But it's that it was my own team's performance I wasn't happy with. But that is for later in the video, as Rick...
Yes, sir.
Shall we start with the first game of the week?
We shall, my friends.
As the Montreal Alouettes defeat the Calgary Stampeders by a score of 23-21. I got this wrong as I took Calgary. I think both of us took Calgary. However, I'm still pleased with this, as it kind of helps Winnipeg having Calgary lose, and points go out east to the Alouettes. So, Rick, what did you think?
I'm not going to be honest. I'm going to be honest with you. I didn't really watch this game all too much. Keep in mind, Vernon Adams did leave this game with an injury.
Yeah, do we know the status on them right now? Or
so as of today, he did not practice. Day one, he did. Actually, you know what? Let me take a look here.
Okay, so he's kind of in the middle. We don't really know yet.
Because I posted it in our pick'em thing. Alfred actually has a hamstring, so he's not practiced yet.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm trying to... Jalen Philippot was limited. I'm just... Oh, and Adrian Green, who is the other one that left the game with an injury. He did not practice either.
I see.
So it's going to be interesting.
The fallout of this game is interesting. So Montreal would do what the Winnipeg Blue Bombers couldn't. And you know what that was, Rick?
Beat them with their backup?
Nope. No. Not just that. Not that. They were able to get a win by only playing half a game of football. They put up nothing in the first and third quarter. Bombers did that and lost. Because, again, it's not very often that you do that and win, but the Alouettes managed to do it.
And don't forget, also, McLeod Bethel-Thompson, not only the backup, but they still won with one touchdown.
Yeah, well, if there's anything we've learned about the Calgary Stampeders is that P.J. Walker is not a backup. P.J. Walker is not a backup.
I'm going to say this kindly. Mm-hmm. There's some people in this league that are backups that should not be backups.
There are some people in this league that are third stringers that would be better backups. Like, I'll put it this way. Even if you look at Winnipeg, just for example, just because I'm more knowledgeable about Winnipeg, Terry Wilson's not the best backup in the world. He's just kind of eh.
He's not even a backup though.
Yeah, he's a third string, but he would be he's better than PJ Walker. Actually, do you know who I quite liked? Winnipeg's fourth string, Artopius. I think Artopius would be a better back. Yes, I know, but he was running four string in some of the other stuff. But
if we're gonna bring up backups, I know I'm gonna kind of spoil this. Bring in friggin' Jake Dolegala, guy's 6'7", 245 as a backup.
Holy shit! You want to know a name that you could bring in and still be a better backup? Taylor Cornelius.
That too.
You want a backup that can run? Taylor Cornelius is your guy. Not a guy. You know what it was? You know what Taylor Cornelius was, Rick? He was Dustin Crum before Dustin Crum. Like that's kind of that is the style of quarterback he was, if you really think about it. But yeah, we learned that PJ Walker's not going to get it done. Mills, 2 touchdowns, 76 rushing yards, 5.6 on average, so not terrible. Dominic Rhymes, decent performance for him. One of the big things, though, really good performance for Tyler Snead over on the Alouettes side of things. 7 receptions, 103 receiving yards. Sean Thomas Erlington wasn't really able to get much of the run game going, but the passing game was going decent. 30 for 40 for Bethel Thompson, so he goes basically 75%. 280 passing yards, 1 touchdown, one interception. Caleb Evans went 1 for 1 for 42 yards. So even a good game for Caleb Evans. And then Maltos, 5 for 5, and he gets an extra point. So good job on him.
If you were wondering what I was just laughing and crying about at the same time.
Yeah, what was all this hoo-ha about?
I was just taking a look at our upcoming schedule. Do you know who Calgary plays this upcoming week?
Don't they play the Red Blacks? Red Blacks?
Yes. So if you have Pete Walker as your starter this week.
God, you're going to lose to Ottawa with that.
That's almost like
you know what that's going to need. You know what that's going to need to be. That's going to need to be the Diedrich Mills show. That's what that's going to need to be.
I don't even know what that's going to be. To be honest, if you look at Rhymes only had 5 catches for 89 yards. Eric Brooks had 5 for 66, and then it drops off severely. Horton only had 1 pass for 21 yards, and Tavion Jones had 3 for 16.
I expected more from Jalen Philpott. Although
somehow Jalen Philpott got injured. I don't know how he got injured, but he got injured.
Yeah. But even on his 3 receptions, he has 3 receptions, but only 14 yards there. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I kind of expected at least 25 there. But he must have had a decent tackle for loss.
What I'm actually quite surprised is that there was only 1 sack and 1 interception between both teams.
Yeah, especially considering that Vern Adams Jr. didn't finish a game.
Oh, also, I was looking at, or listening to, or watching, I should say, on my TV over here. I was watching a 3 Down Nation podcast today, and John Hodge was saying that back in, was it 86 or 87? They would average 8 sacks a game.
Like
back in the day.
Like just total sacks?
Yeah, per game.
That's brutal.
And now, like, because of some games this year, everyone's having a meltdown. Because all these teams are getting sacked. So I'm like, well, and he was looking it up. He's like, well, if it's 86, back then, they had different players back then, but still.
Yeah. But I think that's all I got.
Maltos kicked a 58-yard field goal.
Damn.
He's trying to come after Castillo, I see.
Castillo. He's going after Sergio Castillo in terms of making the deep ball kicks.
Prentice didn't even have 1 field goal. Prentice didn't even kick 1 field goal.
Did he have any attempts?
No. None. Zip. 0.
Well, not sure what to tell you there, then.
I don't know what to tell you either.
All right. Do you want to get into the next one here?
We shall.
Okay, as the Saskatchewan Roughriders defeated the
Edmonton. Almost a shit show.
What?
This was almost a shit show.
Yeah. Edmonton deciding afterwards, trying to see if they could win by playing half a game of football. Newsflash, doesn't work.
Hold on, let's get this straight. They decided to play a 4th quarter. First quarter doesn't freaking count.
Hey, no, the first quarter does count, even though they only got 4 points. This is why. Because they were leading. Coming out of that quarter.
Saskatchewan had 1 point.
Yeah.
They both
seriously. End of the first quarter was a fucking hockey game. Like...
No, I mean, you could say baseball game, but at the beginning it was 1-1.
No, baseball gets a little higher scoring than that. Because in baseball, you'll also have a 10-6 burnout.
Keep in mind, they're also going with Fajardo this week. Last I heard.
Yes, I did.
So, I mean...
26 for 33, 346 passing yards, and 2 touchdowns for Fajardo.
Your team ain't going to win if you only get 25 rushing yards.
Yeah, Fajardo wasn't the problem.
Fajardo's never been the problem.
Exactly. You know what the problem was? You couldn't run the ball.
No, you know what their problem was? Their defense.
That and you can't run the ball. You got to be able to run the ball. Like,
I mean, AJ had 62 yards.
because you need more offensive production coming out of that second and third quarter. But if you're not running the ball, like, I'll put it this way. When your total number of rushing attempts through the entire game is less than 10, you have a problem. They had 9 rushes this entire game. 9. That's it. And how many of those was Fajardo just not finding anything and then just rushing it himself?
Probably
Because
all of them.
Even if let's say we take out at least 2 of those for that reason, that's only 7.
Okay.
That's being optimistic.
So his longest was 12.
Okay, that screams I escaped the pocket and got a first down.
So then that means if you take the other 3 and average the 8 other yards, that's not a hell of a whole lot.
Yeah. No,
That's
again,
only
even
3
being
yards.
generous, it doesn't look good.
No, it doesn't. I mean, Julian Grant got 2 catches off 69 yards and a touchdown. Stephen Dunbar 5 of 6 for 82 yards and a touchdown.
Well, the funny
Matthew
thing is,
left injured.
well, the funny thing is, and this is one of the big differences. Rick, look at Trevor Harris's numbers compared to Cody Fajardo. Fajardo actually plays slightly better here, as Fajardo goes 26 for 33. Trevor Harris 25 for 33. Fajardo 346
More
passing yards, 268 for Trevor Harris. 2 touchdowns for each of them. They played almost the exact same game. Fajardo had a longer throw. He had a better completion percentage for the exact same number of attempts. And he had more yards. You know what the big difference is? How many rushing yards do you have on Saskatchewan and how many do you have on Edmonton? Because on Saskatchewan, you have 66. Rushing yards versus 25. Like they actually ran the ball. And this is a subpar game for AJ Ouellette. His average was 4.1. That's not great. It's less than 5. That's not great numbers. But you know what it's better than? You know what it's better than, Rick? It's better than fucking nothing, which is what the Elks had. And that's the thing.
What can I say? You know what? I was kind of hoping that Saskatchewan would have lost this one, even though I picked them.
Me too.
Or did I pick Edmonton?
No, we picked Saskatchewan.
Because I would have laughed at Rider fans, because they would have been 5-2, and I'd have been like, "You guys just lost to the worst team in the league."
Yeah, that's the thing. At
right-
least I can sleep with at night at least a little bit. Is our 2 losses to Calgary was when Calgary was doing pretty
Because
good.
if you think about
Don't know
it,
if I could say the same with the losses to Toronto.
had Saskatchewan have lost to Edmonton, they would not have been number 1 in the power rankings.
Yeah.
They would have been like 2nd or 3rd. And yours truly would have been 1st.
Yeah, fair enough. But I think that's pretty much all I got for this one. Is there anything else you got?
So Saskatchewan did get 8 sacks. So you also know that the offensive line is trash for Edmonton if you give up 8 sacks.
Yeah. Well, and also Saskatchewan's defense has been very, very good for them this year. I think it was a mixture of 2 things. But yeah, when 8 sacks are given up, it's not just one factor. There's a bit more to it than just that.
Well, I mean, and offensive line's garbage, but I mean, it is what it is.
Exactly. It was a mixture of the offensive line for Edmonton being subpar as they have been this year, and Saskatchewan's defensive line doing very well as the defense for Saskatchewan's being very good. So I'm ready for the next one if you are.
Sure.
Okay, so I was
rainy game.
I was
the
working.
rainy game that I was at.
Yeah, I was working during this game, and originally there was a part of me that was kind of bummed. Now, no, I wasn't.
No.
Didn't much here.
No.
Also, why am I accidentally am showing the Bomber logo on here? They don't deserve for me to show them on that. They lost. It was Toronto.
No.
The Argos beat the Bombers 31-17. And Bombers played half a game of football.
You know what, though? I'm surprised. Like, your defense could not stop Coxie if their life depended on it.
So, Collaros would throw 2 picks. And I'm not going to lie. I'm not entirely frustrated with Collaros here. Because, again, if it hits hands, I expect you to catch it. Simple. If your hand touches it, you should catch it. That is the expectation.
Are you talking about the Stearns catch that bounced off McManus's hands and the other guy caught it?
Okay, well, there's the Stearns one where he catches it and he gets hit and the ball comes out. Are you talking about that one? Because the answer is simple. If you catch the ball, you know what you do after you catch it, Rick? Rick, I'm going to show you the $1 billion idea I just thought of what you could do, okay? Let's say the ball's coming in.
And tuck it in and hold it
ball's
for the rest
coming
of your
in.
life.
Ball's, you caught it? Just bring your arms in. If you're holding them out like this, you're weak. You're going to get it. Like, it's so easy to hit a ball out from that. Like, seriously. Like, someone giving you a finger poke is going to get that ball out. Pull it in. Seriously.
Don't even get me started with fumbles, because that's a whole different can of worms for next game.
Yeah. Brady Oliveira plays a decent game here. Like, again, like my brother was mentioning that he wasn't getting like 100 rushing yards or whatever. Doesn't really have to. He had an average of 6.3 and he got 82. That's not bad numbers.
So here's my theory on this is before they gave up, I mean, they gave up 2 goose eggs, but besides the point, with it raining the whole game, you would have thought that both teams would have ran the ball more.
Yep.
And it's funny because, like, no one in the crowd knew that Zach Collaros got injured.
Well, it wasn't that Zach Collaros got injured. It's that I don't think he ever was truly healthy. I think he went out there.
Okay, well, however you want to word
Well, because here's my thing. Collaros goes out there, and he doesn't, like... Because the thing is that there's not a single time Collaros takes a significant hit in the first half of that game where you're like, okay, he got injured from this play. No. I think it's that he maybe thought he was ready to go, and he got going, and it just... and because that's the thing about concussions people need to realize, is that when it comes to concussions, you don't always know. If you get hit really hard, and you get a concussion from the hit, you might not know for the first 20 minutes, 30 minutes. You might not even know the first day. You might realize it the next day. It's one of those things where you might seem fine, but then you go to do a task and you realize that what would normally be a simple task or just kind of routine is just not the same. That's like concussions
this is a week later, though.
Yes. Again, concussions are like that, though. Concussions are ones where during day-to-day life you can seem fine. You can seem fine and whatnot. But when you go to do tasks where you're doing a lot of analyzing and calculating and whatnot, it then kind of starts to flare up. Again, concussions are not a normal injury in the sense of that it's not like a broken bone where it just has to heal. Concussions are a whole different ballgame. You know what I mean? Which is why when he comes out the second half of this game, because I asked someone and they said, well, he was pulled for performance. It's like, no, if he was pulled for performance, he would still be dressed. He was not even dressed when the Bombers came out the second half of this game.
Well, because I was watching the second half, beginning of the second half from the concourse with a few other fans. And a few of us noticed, I'm like, okay, Strevler and Wilson are playing catch on the sidelines to start the third quarter. I'm like, they pulled Collaros, but no one knew why. And
it has to be for injury reasons. It has to.
No. But everyone thought, okay, 5 for 10, 79 yards, 2 interceptions. Everyone, not me, but everyone, like Argo fans wise, and Bomber fans thought that he was getting pulled for performance purposes.
Absolutely not. Because again, if it was you understand my logic here, right? If it was performance reason, he would have still been dressed. So that way, if Strevler got injured, he could play. If he doesn't even come out dressed, then that means that if Strevler gets injured, they want Wilson to go in because Collaros isn't healthy enough to play.
Yeah. Also,
and again, I wouldn't be surprised if again, and even then, I don't think the 2 interceptions really look that bad on him if you really look at the replays. And again, I'm not gonna lie. I think one of the things that's being the bane of Collaros' existence is the talent in the receiver core is one of the big things that took
up the receivers next.
It really took a hit with Winnipeg. As you throw Kenny Lawler out there, you throw Dalton Schoen before he got injured to oblivion out there. You throw Nick Dembski out there. That's why even Dembski is still doing decent. But
I mean,
even guys like Rashid Bailey when they were really popping off. Guys like Lucky Whitehead when they were really.
Rashid Bailey back.
Well, I don't know. I don't know if he's retired or what is he even doing.
I don't know. Nothing's been said. But I will say though, if you're saying throw Nick Dembski out there, the guy was 1 for 4.
Again, but I'm saying at least in other games he's actually had a decent performance. You know what I mean?
It's just your receivers. I don't know what it is. You guys can't seem to.
Okay. Well, actually, hold on a second. To be fair, Dembski was 1 for 4 on 4 targets. Again, this was when Collaros was not healthy, throwing to him. So I'm saying a healthy Collaros maybe makes those. The other thing is, Rick, can you tell me how many yards Dembski got on his 1 catch?
I mean, he got 46 yards.
He got 46 on. Yep, there you go.
But I mean, they could have won the game had he have caught more passes.
Yep, they could have won the game if Collaros wasn't concussed. But
I mean,
at the end of the day, but that's not the only problem here. Like, as much as obviously I want Collaros healthy, does the offense give up 31 points? Again, the defense is one of the things that's the bread and butter of this Bomber team, and the defense isn't performing. They're not.
So, my thought to you is, before I go on to my thought of the defense, besides Schoen and your guys' offensive line, what has changed since game 1?
Okay, well, there's a few things I want to bring up. Okay,
hold on, I just want to explain my theory to this question is, Collaros was out game 1, Winnipeg won with Strevler. So what, besides the offensive line, because I know you said Stanley Bryant was out.
In my opinion, if you're asking the biggest change in this team, that is the biggest factor in the way that they're performing now, the biggest answer I can give you is lack of performance from the defense.
Okay.
Actually the secondary, I think, is being the biggest difference. You look at those first couple of games, how aggressive they were defensively. They weren't always just because the biggest problem I have with the Bombers is right now there's something that, you know what, Rick, they need to put up how they had like the music leaderboards. They need to put up a leaderboards for terrible things that football defenses do, because there's one thing that the Bombers are effing leading on right now. You know what it is? We are unmatched in our ability to let other teams catch the pass for a first down, and then we push them out of bounds afterwards. We're fucking kings at that. Seriously. They'll make a 12-yard pass, and we'll be like, wow, we didn't give up the deep ball. What a great job, and we'll push them out of bounds. You know what the problem is? We'll do that for 110 yards, and we'll be back in our own end zone.
I mean, if you really think about it, Tony Jones had 2 sacks. Vaughters had a sack and a fumble return for a touchdown. Pearson had a sack. Devin Adams had a sack, so it's not your defensive line.
Yeah, it's not. Well, to be fair, James Vaughters also had a touchdown from that play. Yeah. The other thing is if we look through here, your most tackles you have for a guy in the secondary is Evan Holm with 4. Okay, you know who's ahead of him? Trey Vavel, and Trey Vavel was playing a bit of DB. I'll put it, which is kind of crazy considering he's usually a returner. When a guy who doesn't even play in the secondary instantly goes in and has the most tackles, that's a little concerning. Seriously. I mean, like, if we look here, like, I'm going to try to see this. Oh, we lost Rick. Let's get him back. What happened to Rick? I sent him an invite, so he should be back soon. But, like, I'm just looking here, and this defensive performance is just not enough to cut it. Again, even with the sacks that the Bombers did get, it's just not enough. So, if I'm looking over on the Toronto side of things, I don't know why Rick's not joining back up. Oh. There we go. Hold on a second, Rick. Talk, Rick.
It wouldn't let me join. I had to close
Okay, we're good. We're still live, by the way. I did not stop the recording.
Oh, okay. Because last thing I heard from you was and then it just went. Boop.
Yeah, I was just saying that the secondary needs to do more. Because there's Vavel with 5 tackles, 4 for Holm. Parker comes in with 3 tackles. Marquise Bridges just with 2. And again, the reason these tackle numbers are so low is because they're not tackling them. It's because they're pushing them out of bounds.
So I have a general question for you because me and another Cat fan were talking about this the other day. Hypothetically, okay, if, and again, I'm just saying a big if, because even though you guys still have 2 games in hand on BC, if BC somehow leapfrogged Winnipeg, Toronto got the 3rd playoff spot in the East, and you guys were out of a playoff spot, could you see Winnipeg trading Jefferson for a playoff run?
Why? Well,
why?
Like for what? For what in return?
No, I'm not saying for what in return. I'm just asking a general question. Do you think if Winnipeg's out of the playoffs, could you see them trading Jefferson for, I don't know what it is, something,
probably not,
in order for him to make a run at the playoffs with another team?
I think you'd piss off a lot of people here. I don't think they'd want to do it. And also, you have to remember, Willie Jefferson's moved his entire family from Texas to Winnipeg. That's a pretty big commitment. I think the forces outside of the game of football would prevent that from happening.
The forces outside of football.
It's true. No,
we were just talking about the defensive.
He's too much of a moneymaker marketing wise for Winnipeg. Think about it. Willie Jefferson's one of the easiest guys to market, and he brings in the fucking dough for Winnipeg. He gets all the brand deals, all this and that. He's always promoting cars and this and that around the city. You know, dealerships, this and that. Brady Oliveira does the same thing. But I don't know. He's a guy who he's going to retire as a Bomber.
For some reason, I always thought that he was older than 34. I don't know why.
I thought he was older than 34 as well. There we go. I guess we get a few more years 34. Of Willie Jefferson. No complaints. No complaints about Willie Jefferson. You know what I can't complain about? This goddamn team, though. I can still complain about them.
How?
No, you know what? Actually, I need to say one more thing before we get into this. Is that okay, Rick? I have a big problem with the Bombers. You want to know what my number one problem is? Is that we have lost the same fucking game 3 weeks in a row. Look at those 3 games. Look at the 2 games against Calgary and the game against Toronto, and look at the way they lost. They lost.
They've given up 30 plus points in 3 straight games.
Yep. Did we ever get above 20 points in a game?
No.
No, we didn't. We got 20 points in our second game. And the other thing is, if you look at the way that we play, in the sense of we'll put up an okay amount offensively, but nothing really that great, and then just completely shit the bed defensively and allow them to just get pass after pass after pass and pushing them out of bounds and never getting aggressive. Seriously, I've seen some plays where we'd have a guy in double coverage, okay? He's got 2 DBs on him. And both of them would stand behind and wait for it, rather than one guy standing behind to be the safety and another guy jumping in front and going for the interception, despite it being a goddamn lob pass, which means it's so high up in the air that you totally have enough time to get under that and get in front of that ball. When you got 2 guys going for it, at least one of you should be fucking aggressive. Like, ugh.
One thing that I was just looking at,
They need to get in the film room because we've lost the same 3 games in a row. Seriously, if Toronto was wearing red this week, it would have looked, and you put the film all together, it would have looked like it was one game. Brutal.
Your guys' next 6 games are brutal.
Yep. Yeah, it is. Yep.
You guys are at home against Toronto.
Actually, correction. On August 14th, we play Ottawa, and that is our one saving grace.
No, I wasn't even getting to that yet. So you're at home versus Toronto, at Calgary, at home versus Ottawa, at Montreal. Then you have the home and home against Saskatchewan.
You gotta win at least. You gotta win the Banjo Bowl.
Then you play us on September 12th. You play Ottawa, and then we come to your guys' stadium on September 26th.
I almost, what the thing is, sometimes they always play better against Saskatchewan on Labor Day and Banjo Bowl. It's kind of like, you know what it is? It's one of those things where no matter if one team is incredible and the other team sucks, they'll always have a close game for those 2 games because they mean so much more.
If you
that can be the wake up.
If you want to really bring up that topic, last year we were garbage, but then we swept Toronto.
Well, that's the thing. It's like maybe we have to pull a Hamilton Tiger Cats and just figure the shit out starting Labor Day.
and how many Bomber fans were calling for O'Shea's head is hilarious.
All those people who are calling for O'Shea's head, no,
can go kick rocks.
No, the two
old Yeller at
the 2 Grey Cup rings we have from 2019, 2021, you don't get that without O'Shea. And again, people are like, God, the amount of people that just like sit back in the fucking recliner and just think that O'Shea is the problem here. He's not the problem.
You know what else kills me about this game? So, a couple of things. I'm going to go to the Toronto side of things because we got to give them some love.
I agree.
So, Janarian Grant. Oh, by the way, I was told to tell you, Carter, there is an Argo fan that lives in Ottawa. His name's Adam.
Okay.
He told me to tell you, thanks for Janarian Grant. Janarian Grant. If we're gonna talk about backup,
again, I miss Janarian Grant. I can't. You know what? I understand that. I miss Janarian Grant. It's not like we didn't want to keep Janarian Grant. It's that literally there was no money left.
Listen, BBC and Ring go over the salary cap. Yeah, you'll have to pay fines, but so be it. Just don't spend over $300,000.
Again, but Winnipeg is more financially sound, which is why they're one of the most profitable teams in the league. BC, as much as they were spending over the cap, they were losing money. They were financially in the red last year.
I'm not saying spend a lot of money. I'm sure you can afford $90,000.
I think he was
just
making more than 90.
Just throw someone on the 6th game for the whole season, so you don't have to pay their salary. Anyways, Janarian Grant.
Yeah, this was also a few seasons ago. That's the other thing you got to realize.
No, I know. Janarian Grant threw a 41-yard pass. A guy that's not even a quarterback. That's how bad your guys' defense is. Then on top of it, Nick Arbuckle threw 316 yards, 2 touchdowns, 22 passes to 5 receivers. They only passed to 5 receivers. That's it. That actually caught a ball, I should say.
That's true.
DeMonte Coxey had 6 catches for 145 yards and 1 touchdown.
Haralahu had a game. Six kicks there. 6 field goals.
Yeah.
But
they had 2 interceptions. Cameron Judge and Benji Franklin had 1 each, and Aaron Casey I could have sworn they had more sacks. But I guess not.
So,
don't forget Cody Case left the game injured too. I want to say it's either a foot or a leg, because they had to bring out the cart for it, and they stabled his leg on the cart.
Yeah, that was brutal. Ouch. Yeah, no, I hope I hope he heals up soon. Do you want to get on to the next one though? We got one more game left still.
The game of the week, and possibly the catch of the week.
No, that was catch of the year. Seriously, that interception.
Okay, that's
was
what I meant.
Catch of the fucking year. And you know what's crazy is that Robert
did it last year too.
Is not even he did that in college. Robert Carter.
That's what I mean.
And it was like the same catch. Which have you seen the one from him in college?
Oh, I've seen the one. So in his post game interview, he said that the catch that he did last year for Robert Morrison School, whatever it's called, was better than the one this year in the CFL.
That might I think
why?
I think that's actually true.
The reason why is because the one that he did last year, he did with a broken hand.
That was with a broken hand?
Is what he said in the press conference.
That's ridiculous.
So, you want to hear something that very frustrates me?
What?
We cannot hold on to a damn freaking ball. Our first offense, Bo throws to Keaton Bergling, and the guy fumbles the ball after a 4-yard catch. Like, go down. Don't fight for more yards. Go down to the ground and take the 4 yards.
Yeah.
That's not the first time that happened either. That happened to Greg Bell later on in the game too. So, BC Lions decided to play an umbrella game. If you don't know what umbrella is, it's the shape of an umbrella, and everyone
they're talking this the zone coverage was an umbrella.
Okay, I just know of TSN saying umbrella, that it looks like an umbrella. But so BC fans are pissed that they're playing the umbrella the whole game because they're giving Hamilton, up to 10 yards that they're just throwing yards and throwing passes. People were catching them, getting the extra plays and keeping the downs going. For the love of God, can we get the officials on the same page? Like, there was so many defensive passes. So, first off, the defensive pass interference that they did not call on Kenny Lawler was the exact same thing that they called on. Who was it on our defense that they called it on? Name slipping a bell. Verisak's pass interference. So they don't call it first for us, but then they call it for BC. And then the BC player steps on a foot on one of the Hamilton players, gets called for roughing the passer. How that's roughing the passer when it's not even the quarterback, I have no idea. It's just like some of the officiating calls in this game were like head scratchers. Mind you, quarterbacks were going throw for throw in this too.
Yeah.
But the better one won. Bo Levi Mitchell went 34 for 41, 389 yards, 3 touchdowns, and 1 interception, which was that Carter interception. Also, after his performance in this game, he needs 131 yards, which he will get on Saturday, to surpass Doug Flutie on the 9th of all-time passing.
You know what's funny? When Calgary thought that they could move on to Jake Maier because they thought Bo Levi Mitchell didn't have it anymore, and then it's been like 5 years from that, and we found out that not only does Jake Maier not have it, but that Bo Levi Mitchell still has it.
You know what the funny thing is? Bo ran for 4 times for 23 yards. That's one of the longest amount of yards that he's run since he left Saskatchewan in 2018, or Calgary in 2018.
Yeah, I guess so.
Greg Bell had 11 carries for 56 yards. Johnny Augustine's coming through for us. And they were saying when Ted Gavea called him, Ted even promised him more playing time, and he's getting it in Hamilton. And our good old power to us, Jake Dolagala. 3 carries for 4 yards and a touchdown. They should have just been using him from the very beginning, my honest opinion. So the interesting thing about our receiver for this game, Keandre Smith, so he almost broke or tied the record for the most receptions in a game by a Canadian is 15. And that was by Andy Fantuz. The most receptions in a game by a receiver in total, there's 4 people, and one of them is Arlen Bruce the second. Or the third, one of the two. So he had 14 of 15 catches for 138 yards, 2 touchdowns. Tim White was 6 for 6. That's a shocker that he actually caught all 6 passes for 86 yards. Brandon O'Leary Orange, 3 for 4 for 63 yards, 1 touchdown. Kenny Lawler. So even though Kenny Lawler... So did you see either of Kenny Lawler's catches?
I saw the second one.
Okay. Both of his catches are basically the same thing. They hit off someone's hands, and he catches the ball.
Yeah. Yeah, because the second one was a guy jumping up to swat it, and he still got it.
And then you have... so he got 29 yards. Greg Bell got 26. Shamar Bridges got 21. Johnny Augustine got 18. This is what happens when you try to double team Lawler. You leave someone open. So you either single man Kenny Lawler and he gets points and yards, or you double team him and let other people get the ball.
Yeah. No, it was one of those things where the Lions really tried to kind of bust the coverage on Kenny Lawler, and they kind of did, but they gave up so much that then all of a sudden Keandre Smith is now a huge problem for you guys, as he got 2 touchdowns, 138 receiving yards. Yes, for the Lions.
Just a quick thing. Moxie leads the defense with 5 defensive tackles, 1 fumble recovery. Philip Ossie, who's filling in for Tayshaun Garbett because Tayshaun's on the 6th game. He had his first ever CFL sack. Mark Leggio is still perfect, and he went 3 for 3. As far as the BC side goes, Nathan Rourke went 20 for 27, 289 yards, no touchdowns, no interceptions. James Butler had 16 carries for 115 yards, 2 touchdowns. Jeremiah Mazzoli had 1 carry for 2 yards and a touchdown. Good to see that he's still getting points and scoring. So, Keon Hatcher, he had 117 yards in the first half. He was shut down the second half. Eberhardt had 58 yards. Barry Hill III had 43. Katoy had 38. Justin McInnes had 23, and Riley Pickett, their fullback, had 11. Guest of the channel, Michael Awe, had 10 defensive tackles to lead the defense. Robert Carter had 6 defensive tackles in the interception. Blaylock and Tuhima each had a fumble recovery. We did not give up any sacks on our offensive line. And Sean White went 4 for 4. So, again, he's still perfect. Now, one other thing that I'm going to mention is, out of the 9 teams, who do you think has given up the least amount of touchdowns against?
Saskatchewan?
No.
Hamilton?
A team that you're not going to think. Hamilton. They've only given up 5 touchdowns this year.
Not
defensive touch. I think it's defensive touchdowns. No, it would have to be more than 5. So it has to be defensive touchdowns. Let me see here, because I'm actually Because, I mean, Toronto scored...
Do you want to know a fun fact that the broadcast was saying about the Ticats during this that I thought was kind of hilarious?
What's
or
that?
Not hilarious, I guess just interesting. It was about your guys' punter, Nick Constantino. You want to know what they said?
What did they say?
They said, oh yeah, he's the youngest of 7 children. And he has 6 older sisters. So he's one of 7 kids and he doesn't have any brothers.
Okay, so we're second in turnovers.
Sorry, I remember them mentioning that in the broadcast and me just going like, what?
Sucks.
Seriously? Not one?
Where was... I'm sure we had like... They had us listed as 5. This is gonna friggin' bother me. Where's it? Offense. I'm sure one of them...
I'm pretty much ready to wrap it up whenever you are.
Yeah, that's fine. We can... so there's just 2 things I want to mention.
Yep.
Go over to Shotgun Sports, 10 o'clock Eastern Time, 9:30 Pacific, or sorry, 9:30 Central, 8:30 Mountain Time.
On Wednesday.
Wednesday, I will be joining the Elks Call with our friend Scout and discussing Saturday's 3 o'clock kickoff between Hamilton and Edmonton. Also, I'm going to throw out there that I will be live streaming again on Saturday for the Edmonton-Hamilton game on Saturday. So don't forget to come over to Hamilton Sports Central for a lovely time. As we had one the other day on Saturday, or Sunday, I should say.
Yeah. And if you haven't already, make sure you guys like, share, and subscribe to the show. And if you guys are listening to this on Spotify, make sure you guys give us 5 stars. We very much appreciate your support. Anything else there, Rick?
Not from me, my friend.
All right. Peace, love, and positivity, all you wonderful people at home. We will see you guys next time.